Well, hello again, YouTube. Today we're going to talk very quickly about these. Yes, it's a light bulb. Specifically, this is an LED light bulb. Now, quick backstory. I switched over to these because we'll just say, cheap or low cost or whatever. I don't want to spend a lot of money on my electricity. And so these claim to use, this is a box of them, and it has a little arrow saying this is their light appearance, but they claim to be 750 lumens, which is the measure of light. And then it's going to be based on 3 hours a day at 11 kilowatts or cents a kilowatt hour. $1.02 is the yearly cost. So if I leave this thing on for 1 year, 3 hours a day at 11 cents a kilowatt, then this will only cost me $1. So the key here, a few things, just if you don't know and you're buying these, watts. Watts is power. 8.5 watts, that's how much power or electricity, energy you're basically using off of the grid, demanding whatever to make this thing go. So if you ever see one of these and you're like, oh, it's not working, I'm going to swap it out. Let me show you a couple quick tricks. If you look closely at this one, you'll see this like blue, or not blue, sorry, but there's like a symbol, little dots around it. That actually is a Lumamon brand. This is a Bluetooth or wireless one. So if you have a problem with this, flick it on and off for the light switch like 3 times. If that triggers it, then it'll start like flashing kind of erratically. That means you need to get an app, use the app to make this thing actually go. But my wife hates these things because one of the kids or neighbor kids will come flick the lights, and when they hit it like 2 or 3 times, it just triggers this thing. Just sit there and go, unless I'm home and I have the app, it's going to keep doing that. And so it drives her insane. So I went and I had bought all these. I swapped them all out in the house. It was awesome. I was like, I want to have blue mood, red mode over there, and make it this cool, it was awesome. And then when it didn't work the first time when she flicked it on, I was like, oh, you need to use my phone to make that. No, that was and now we're getting back to none. So these out the window. But what I want to tell you about is what I'm going to call the big lie on LEDs, because these things are supposed to last for, I'm gonna see if this one has it, where they advertise 15,000 hours. Okay, so let's see, this is 3 hours a day, so what is that, like 5,000 days? Okay, so that's a long time, very long time. Now the old classic ones, which we all remember, this is a incandescent bulb. You can see the little filament on the inside of there. The reason why this is unique in the fact that we have this is a 250 watt bulb. So 8 versus 250. This is massive, and this is for keeping chickens warm. You don't really care about this except to know that this gets hot, and so it's not a very efficient way of lighting. But I don't have any. I got rid of all of the mercury vapor coil ones, the CFLs, the compact CFLs, and they look like that, and they just had a little coil. I got rid of all those because they're like a hazard if they break and blah, blah, blah. They actually still get warm and they get kind of jacked up, and I didn't want to deal with those either. So I switched over to these. And my biggest problem is these are a lie. And the reason they're a lie is because if you look carefully on this, most all of the enclosures that you have for your lights, most things don't just dangle like this. They have a covering of some kind, sometimes fully enclosed, sometimes like mostly enclosed. If you look carefully on this, it's going to tell you right here, suitable for damp locations, suitable for use in enclosed luminaries, okay, which basically is a light fixture. This one claims to do that. Well, I stuck this one outside in my enclosed area in a shady spot that's been where my outside light is. It lasted about 6 months. It's on for 12 hours at night. So let's just say 10 times 6 months. That's 180 days. So 180 times 10, 1,800 hours. Much different than 15,000, okay? Why? Because these, when they're in an enclosure, get hot, and that heat actually damages the internals of this light. Now, the claim for this should be wrong. They should say that they are low energy, which is true. They should say they last a decent amount of time, and for the cost benefit, yes, you should swap every single light you have out with an LED. But don't believe the lie of 15,000 hours. That is baloney. I have not had a light yet last more than like a couple years. But again, this whole box, sorry, it's going to get loud for a second. I got planes flying over because, that's how this works. This box was like 20 bucks. So 24 of them, that's like $1 a bulb. I mean, it's really pretty cheap. But on this particular box, if you look at it carefully, this one I believe says, do not use with dimmers, not for totally enclosed luminaries. So unless you read, I mean, one's a little bit bigger than the other, but unless you read about these on the box and you just buy them blindly, like, oh, it's an LED bulb. Well, apparently not LED bulbs are all exactly the same. So read the box. If you're going to put it in a fully enclosed one, there's probably some shielding or technology to eliminate some of the heat that these give off when you have them on, so that way they don't get as hot as this. Like, this sucker is just, I mean, it'll start a fire, okay? These, I'm not going to say they won't start a fire, but I'm going to say that likely not to start a fire. But they're not all the same. So read the box, check, and understand that there is a rating on these where it says warm white. That matters, because that's like that kind of yellowish white light that we like in the house, not the blue or the really white light that looks like we're having surgery. This is a warm house kind of lighting. But these cool bulbs, the reason why I got those Bluetooth ones for this guy here is because I was like, man, like, I like this because I can do, or actually, I'm sorry, it's this one. I got bulbs everywhere. This guy, because I was like, I can change the color to blue, to orange, to red, do kind of themes. It was really fun. Like I said, as a techie guy, I'm like, this is sweet. But as a married guy, this is not so sweet. Wish you guys could have been there. It was pretty funny to look. I was like, and now I'm getting rid of all these bulbs for free. Get out of here. So, yeah, before you swap all your bulbs out, you might want to just show your wife how it works and maybe put the app on her phone instead of being stupid and putting it on yours. But either way, guys, this is the bulbs. This is how to check. If you have any questions, please always like and subscribe. Let me know. We're going to do a few other videos, but this is the bulb one. I've been wanting to do this one for forever because every time I have one of these burn out, I'm like, oh, come on. Where's my 15,000 hours? It's like maybe a year and a half, and it's not the same thing. So don't believe the lies, false advertising. That's not how this works. This is just better than an incandescent bulb, and that alone is worth it. So thanks, guys. I'll see you guys next time.